Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Biblio Fitness. Hope everyone has had a great day. Made some gains as always. Um, it was a pretty good day, but I feel like this leg day that I got coming up Friday is probably gonna be the last workout I'm gonna have for the next, the rest of the week, like the weekend, this coming weekend, and then the following week. I'm feeling pretty battered and broken, and I want to take a deload before I dig myself too big of a hole. And on that subject, I am going to be switching to a 4 day. Still going to 5 days a week is still beating the shit out of me, and I want to do other stuff besides be exhausted from training. So I'm gonna be doing like a Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, go Thursday, Friday, and then off Saturday, Sunday. But it's gonna still be push, pull, rest, legs, push. So every other week, it's gonna be another muscle that's gonna get hit twice, um, which is fine by me, and it keeps me going. And I'm probably gonna be able to maintain that training block a lot longer than 7 weeks because I do have to go to work after. So hopefully it helps out a lot. I get the weekends off for sure, which is definitely going to help, obviously. But that's not what that's not the main topic of today's discussion. Today's discussion is over smerdyakov. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing that, and my apologies. I don't mean to. I don't mean to in a negative way. But another very interesting character has arisen. He might be a potential bastard child of Fyodor. Fyodor, what? I know it's Karamazov, but I forgot the last name that they used for him. But whatever. Um, Fyodor Pavlovich. Yeah, there we go. See, Pavlovich. Yeah. He might be the illegitimate daughter because his mother was a woman called Stinky Lizaveta, which was a crazy woman that lived out on the streets, basically. And then the narrator goes on to a story in which Fyodor, younger, a few years ago, obviously, drunk with some of his friends, meet this poor woman sleeping somewhere, and they start fucking with her. And then no one's had been able to confirm, but there is a rumor that Fyodor was raped her or something, knowing because of his reputation. Because a few months later, people in the town started asking, "Yo, how the fuck is this lady pregnant, and who impregnated this woman?" And that's how fingers started pointing to Fyodor. This kid is pretty fucking weird. He's very seclusive. He's very antisocial. He's a very brooding individual. You could tell he's constantly asking, just overthinking everything. I've been there, like just fucking days off into the abyss and not notice that I'm just standing there. But very, he's very antagonistic, and he's very mocking towards religion. And like he would fucking kill kittens and do like a whole ceremony, like he would wear a robe and do like the incense and shit, like the funeral ceremony in the Catholic Church and stuff. Like, and then a very interesting story was when they were drinking or something, like Alyosha walked in on them, on the family drinking, and they were talking about some Russian officer got killed because he didn't renounce Christianity, so he got flayed alive and got killed for it. And Gregory applauds this because, he's very Christian, he's very obtuse, and he's very he's very hard-headed when it comes to these sort of religious discussions. Like, once he has an idea, once he considers something true, he believes it wholeheartedly, and there is no way that you can convince him otherwise. And then here comes Smerdyakov and says, "Oh, I would have said no. I would have renounced it, but then I would have used the years that I had left to atone for my sins." And Gregory is like, "What the fuck are you talking about? That's blasphemy. What are you talking about?" He's like, and then he comes out with the idea is like, "Oh, but even because remember, in Christianity, it's not the action that gets you guilty, it's the thought itself. It's if you ever even think about doing something that's against the Christian moral structure, you already sin against God. The thought itself gets you fucked." And that's what he uses in his argument. He's like, oh, but even if I thought about it, I would have already been excommunicated by God. So how am I going to be punished for this in the way that I'm I'm selling out on Christianity when I was already excommunicated before I even had to make that choice, because the thought came into my head first. So why would I die for that when I'm not gaining anything out of it anyways? He was like, he said, because he makes the case that, like, he's like, oh yeah, because in the Bible, for example, it says, you know, even a faith the size of a grain of rice can move mountains. And he's like, I can't move mountains. I could be getting half flayed alive praying to God, and that mountain is not going to crush my enemies. So why am I going to die for something knowing damn well that if all you need is that little faith, then I'm clearly worshiping God in an inappropriate manner, because he's not here saving his servants. He's letting me fucking die. So why am I going to give myself up for that when I'm clearly not going to heaven? And Gregory is just dumbfounded at this shit. Because he also makes the case like, oh, except for like 2 or 3 hermits that are in the desert somewhere, they're probably the only people that could probably move that mountain with the amount of faith that they have, because of how, you know, separate and isolated they are from modern society. It's a very interesting point, and he's very mocking towards, you know, he's very antagonistic towards Christianity. He's one of those other characters, you know, one of those rational atheists of that time period that are just completely against all tradition, and they look at it with contempt and ridicule, and how stupid, and it has no place in the modern world. Like Fyodor said that to Alyosha. He's like, damn, he's like, that's my philosophy. I just want to be wicked for as long as possible, and I don't care. Like, you know, that's just who I am. If you pray for me, that's fine. But if you don't, then go to hell. I don't really give a shit about your God. I don't care about your Bible. Like, he has complete disregard and even contempt towards Christianity. He considers it a farce, a waste of time. So there are people in there that are like very pessimistic, very antagonistic, because this is the dawn of a new era in Russia, and this is a transitionary period for Russia at this time, and you see all these conflicts arising towards Christianity, and Christianity retaining its solitude, and him making it like the moral compass of the whole story. Like, you know, at the end of the day, they know what they're doing right from wrong based on what Alyosha is there. You know, Alyosha is basically this center of gravity, as the noble one, the one that's called out to adventure, the one that's out there that has to face the world and help solve problems in order to be a better servant of God, you know, to be in the midst of all this depravity and murder and you know, sheer debauchery, really. So it's still a great story. Like I've said before, I'm not a fan of the overly Christian tones, but it is what it is. It's still a great story, and it does make some points in terms of ideals. Like, if you don't have ideals, you're just gonna follow your passions. You're just gonna be a fucking hedonistic fool. You're not gonna trust anything, because if God's not true, then nothing else can be true. So you inherently become nihilistic and fatalistic towards your own life, which was the case made by Nietzsche in Will to Power. You know, because we're so used to it being only Christianity, since Judeo-Christian values have dominated our Western culture for the past 2,000 years, obviously, give or take. People make the assumption that if Christian morals and Christian ideology is not possible, it's not a feasible outcome. Then nothing else can be. Yeah, no one wants to give anything else another try. So I hope to get to get through that book. It's really fucking good. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest you do. This is a great work of literature, and I can't wait to read Crime and Punishment afterwards. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's all for today. I hope you all have an amazing day. Make them fucking games and read, please. We gotta read. We gotta not only worry about our physical selves, but, you know, over here we gotta read our philosophy, read our history, know who we are, and know what we're capable of. I feel like that's pretty important information. So love y'all, and until next time, peace.